Okay, hi. I'm bored as hell, so I'm here to do an impromptu comic book review online. My name is Laura. I'm 17. I've been reading comics for about a year. The first to admit, I'm pretty limited in what I read. Like, for a long time, all I was reading was this, Invincible Iron Man. This is a great series. The whole thing, start to finish, is really good. And there's a lot of really good jumping in points, too. For anybody who wants to start reading comics, it's a good start. Like number 25 that came out last month, that's a perfect jumping in point if anybody's interested. And then recently, I got into Deadpool, which I'm not 100% sure how good this is for my mental health, but I've really been enjoying the Daniel Way story that he's been doing for, I guess, about a year now. I don't know. I've been playing catch up. I haven't been reading them since they came out. But Marvel, with these last two, has kind of been pissing me off. And I'm going to start with the one that doesn't piss me off too badly, and that is this one. That's Invincible Iron Man, number 26. That's Fraction LaRocca. Okay, let's see. Just stuff you can see flipping through it. The art is great. The coloring's great. All that stuff is really good. You know, just looking through it at first glance, it looks great. The only little inconsistency I might point out in the art is that, you know, and maybe this is supposed to reflect the light in the room, I'm not sure, but all within the same scene, we see Tony once with eyes that look almost brown, whereas in the last issue, they were like bright blue. I mean, they were so blue, it was hard to look at anything else on the page. And then, you know, on the next couple pages, they're back to being pretty blue again. That's probably the only real inconsistency I found in the artwork. You know, I've seen worse. It's good, it's fun, the art's great. The story is pretty good. We're just getting started on a new arc here. Sorry, that's my phone in the background. But this is only the second in Stark Disassembled, which seems like it's going to go somewhere really interesting and really exciting, but this particular issue got a little jumpy. Like, we'd start with a scene with, like, maybe Maria and Tony, and all of a sudden we're having this flashback to somebody else, or all of a sudden we're with the Hammer Girls in somewhere unspecified in the Middle East. Maybe they did specify. I'm not going to look right now. I'm not going to make you wait on me. So it got a little hard to follow, I thought, but I will admit that I definitely tend, when reading comics, to kind of speed through them a little bit, so that might very well be me. You know, it wasn't confusing beyond belief, and I've read things that are like that, and it's definitely nothing like that. So yeah, Invincible Iron Man, number 26, pretty good, you know? It's really good. This one is the one that I'm having some issues with. This is, Deadpool, number 25. It's Daniel Way. The art on this one is, who is this? Carlo Barberi does pencils, and I have mixed feelings about him, definitely. What I'm kind of noticing here is, there's a couple really good examples. He does his lower limbs in kind of a weird way. Like, there's a great shot in here somewhere. There it is. I'm not sure how well you're going to be able to see that. But you can see how, I mean, like, Wade is always drawn with kind of a, Wade Deadpool, always kind of drawn with kind of a wide rib cage, but this is ridiculous. Like, his shoulders are this wide, and his waist is, like, this big, and then from, you know, the waist down, he's tiny. It's weird. He does his waist down are just, like, not proportional, I don't think. I don't know. I'm not a huge fanatic of his art. And he also is a big fan of showing Deadpool's expressions through the mask with a lot more than just his eyes. Like, there's all kinds of, like, stretching across the mouth and everything, which, for whatever reason, I have never been a fan of. That's a personal preference thing. I know I've read a lot of reviews that really like him. That's a personal preference thing. The color is really good. I like the color on this. So let's just get into the stuff that pisses me off. The story? The story is not bad. I think it's well written. For Deadpool fans who are familiar with some of the things that make Wade tick, like there's a B. Arthur joke in there somewhere, very, very funny. but not as funny as some of the earlier stuff by this author has been, which I think is very disappointing. Because I started reading those in the volume form. I've got volume 1 through 3 upstairs somewhere. Those are all great, but those were so funny, and this one did not live up to it at all. And Wade has also decided to be a hero, probably because of this lovely little, the heroic age that Marvel's putting on everything right now. I don't know what they're doing. I don't exactly know what the heroic age is supposed to be, but apparently they're going to make Wade Wilson a hero. Oh, better than a hero. They're going to make him Weasel's sidekick. That's right, I said Weasel. And look at this. Look what else they did. They gave him a suit and a new name. So it reads like this. Weasel runs in and says a bunch of crap and then says, "Ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to introduce Wildcard," which would be great if he didn't already have his own comic and if he weren't, you know, like a mercenary, not a superhero. Deadpool started as an anti-hero, and so much of his charm comes from the fact that he's not a bad person, but he does very bad things. And now all of a sudden, you know, he seems, you know, it's hard to say from one issue, but from what we've seen, it very much looks like Marvel's, or Daniel Way, whoever's responsible for this madness, is taking Deadpool in a direction that really suggests that he's just going to be another hero, just kind of quirky. But every Marvel superhero has some kind of quirk. I mean, the characters would be awful if they didn't. So how does that make him different from anyone else? I mean, like, I've heard people complain about Deadpool being too mainstream. That's not what I'm complaining about here. But this seems to be crossing a line. Like, Wade has done the let's be a hero thing before, and it's never worked out for him. But I swear to God, I think they're actually gonna do it. I was just on their website, and I can't remember the exact quote. I could buzz over there and look at it, I suppose. I'll just probably post it in the description on this video. But it has something to do with the fact that Deadpool is now Weasel's sidekick. Deal with it. What? Okay. Let Wade make the smart-ass comments and just summarize or tease the story. So I'll buy it next month. That was the advertisement for number 24, is what that was. But I mean, I swear to God, they're little. Oh, there's a name for these things. I can't remember them. But they're little story info box things. They're trying to get you to buy the next issue. I swear, is getting snarkier than the comics. That's just wrong. I don't buy Deadpool so I can hear Marvel make snarky comments. I buy Deadpool so I can hear Wade Wilson make snarky comments and then laugh at them. You know, I get a big kick out of him when he's trying to kill Bullseye with a chainsaw and is dressed in a meat suit. This is not so much. I mean, I love Iron Man. That's why I read Iron Man. But if I want to read something where somebody's got a suit, I'm going to read Iron Man. This is not why I buy Deadpool, and I'm concerned. If anybody has seen my tweets directed at Marvel, you'd realize I'm a little bit pissed right now. You probably already have. But, yeah, so if I were going to rate this thing on like a 1 to 5 scale, 1 to 5 stars, as a comic, I probably rated probably a good solid 4, maybe even a 4.5. Probably more around a 4 because I'm not a big fanatic of his artwork, but it wasn't as funny. And Iron Man, by the way, if I was going to rate that on a 1 to 5 scale, that one would probably be, probably about a 4 too. But I mean, you know, this is issue 2 of this arc or whatever it is they're doing here. But if I don't see something change here, you know, I'm not excited about this. My prospects for Deadpool right now on a scale of 1 to 5 are about a 2, which is scary. It displeases me a lot. So, yeah, but okay, that's an impromptu video review. Basically, you just got ranted at for about 10 minutes about comics that you may or may not have ever even read by some chick you don't know, but that's the internet, that's life. Thanks for listening, as long as you did. And yes, I would still recommend going and buying those. Any of the Daniel Way Deadpool and any of the Matt Fraction Iron Man is fantastic, so